It's 1912 in the Balkans. Now, a lot of things are going on because a lot of countries have declared independence from their oppressors. It happened in 1821, 1878, 1908, and 1881. Countries that got their independence granted were Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia, Montenegro, and Greece. Their oppressors are Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire, and they are two nations with a lot of ethnic groups. But before you get to know why they ended up with so many minority and ethnic groups, you have to know this guy first. Osman I. Osman I was born in the times of the Byzantine Empire and used their weaknesses to grow his country. Eventually, he became more and more powerful until his country, now an empire, was now in Africa, Asia, and Europe. He was on a roll. But the thing that history has taught us over and over again is that whenever there are a multitude of ethnicities being united by one big country, things don't end up well. Like the Roman Empire, Spanish Empire, the British Empire, and the Byzantine Empire. Basically, their stability went down because of rebellions and revolts, which would eventually lead to revolutions. In this area of the Ottoman Empire called Macedonia, there were some people who formed the IMRO, the International Macedonian Revolutionary Organization. One thing leads to another, and this roused the public, especially Bulgarian politics. Then in May 1912, Serbia formed this group called the Black Hand, which used terrorist methods to help the Serbians outside of Serbia itself. Greece, also sensing the hostility, formed an army and began building a navy. Hey, do you guys want to form a league? Will this protect us from the Ottomans because we will team up? Well, if it does, then sign me up. Then on the 8th of October 1912, Montenegro declared war, and 10 days later, the rest of the Balkan League's members followed suit. While Montenegro was trying to get the city of Pristina, Serbia and Bulgaria tried to get Macedonia together. The Bulgarians tried to advance towards Adrianople and ended up with a siege. So here's how a siege works. Every city has a supply line, and an army will go and find the city's resource line and block it, making the city desperate. This will eventually make the city demoralized and in chaos, and eventually the city itself will surrender. Eventually, when the Ottomans finally surrendered and retreated, the First and Third Bulgarian armies failed to chase them down, allowing them to regroup and take their position along the river Lulu-Bargas. There was fierce resistance from the Ottomans, but then the Bulgarians managed to take the city. When more recruits arrived on the battlefield, the Ottomans fought even harder, and as a result, there was many casualties on the battlefield. For a whole 2 days, the battle went on until the Ottoman defense broke. The Bulgarians should have chased them down and tried to flank them, but again, they couldn't. Now, you might be wondering what it means to flank in the military. Well, now let's pretend that there is a battle between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Well, do you see that gap? They should penetrate through it and encircle the people from the DR Republic, causing a huge amount of damage. After the chaotic battle of Lulu-Bargas, the Bulgarians were finally able to see the Ottoman capital of the time, Constantinople, and Greece's main goal, just like one of Bulgaria's main goals, was to get the important port city of Thessaloniki, so they started heading north and east. At first, there were a couple of battles, but the Greeks easily overwhelmed the Ottomans. Then at last, they arrived at their planned destination, Thessaloniki, and it was surrounded. The Ottomans were successful in pushing the Bulgarians back, and in the eastern front, it settled into trench warfare. The Bulgarians eventually found out that Greece had gotten the city of Thessaloniki, they immediately rushed over and arrived a day later. But I wanted it.
No,